Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. And we don't stop. What is going on? What is going on? I go by the name of Mr. Jeff Dess. And my friends, today I want to welcome you to an amazing performance as we celebrate April as National Poetry Month. We are here, sponsored by the Queens College Student Life Department, to not only bring to you some amazing poetry, we're also going to bring to you some tremendous competition from the student poets here at Queens College. And then we're going to have some special performances by myself, Mr. Jeff Dess, representing Trill or Not Trill. I also want to say big shout out to Aaliyah Pierce, who's going to be one of our special poets. So I want you to, if you're watching live on YouTube right now, to make sure that you are having fun in the chat. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Pull out your phones, do what you got to do. And I want to make sure that we have a great time. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to be celebrating poetry. We're going to be celebrating expression. We're going to be celebrating the work. And I can't wait to get an opportunity to rock with y'all. You know what I mean? I was born in an era when crack was attacking blacks and rap on the map, and I quickly adapted to that and had to the back, was cool in the city schools and none tougher than T, and I pity the fools, and overzealous storytellers recited they bars. Out of this world like Spike when he was Mars, was going far in the Boston across colors, and Mike Tyson was still nicer than all the others. It was a time when Buster was rah-rahing and Air Jordan was scoring often versus Boston. Satisfaction, the way the Jacksons acted, Sam acted a crackhead but still made it happen. My versatile flow is like Jesse, Michael, and Bo, so you know that I must be hot. Words paint the canvas like I'm Basquiat. Now tell me, now you ready? You're not. It's a new generation. I ain't ready to stop. Are y'all ready or not? Are y'all ready or not? Listen, if you are representing straight out of Queens, if you're from Brooklyn, if you're from the Bronx, if you're from Uptown, Manhattan, Downtown, Midtown, if you're from Staten Island, I know Staten Island is still in the building, so if you're from Staten Island, show up too. Pull up Staten Island. We're going to have a great day. We're going to have a great moment. We're going to have a great performance. And I'm excited. I'm not going to front. I'm excited. So I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up the bio of our first speaker, our first poet. She is a tremendous, tremendous scholar and a tremendous author and educator. And I'm excited to have her here today. So let me pull up just to make sure that I can get you all the information that we need for our next amazing poet. She goes by the name of Aaliyah Pierce. She's a Fulbright National Geographic Storytelling Fellow. She's a TEDx speaker. She is an educator. She is an international performance poet, and she is an author. And tonight she's going to drop some amazing poetry for the crew, for the people, for all of us that are watching wherever you are. My friends, let's bring Aaliyah Pierce to the stage. Let's bring Aaliyah Pierce to the stage. Let's bring Aaliyah Pierce to the stage.
Hello, hello, hello. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever the heck you are in this world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Jeff, for that amazing introduction. I'm gonna just lay it out right now. I do not freestyle rap. It ain't gonna happen. We do poetry. We write it out ahead of time. We practice this. We do spoken word here. So I just want to set the stage. But I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here with you, Queens College, and in celebrating National Poetry Month. And, you know, I really do just want to jump right in because we don't got time. It's tech world now, so we got a time limit on these things. So if you're feeling something, even though we're virtual, please snap, clap, type into the chat, whatever keeps the energy flowing. But I hope you enjoy. And this is my first piece entitled Names Matter. In America, our names are too hard to pronounce. Too many vowels on life support trying not to be forgotten. Too many letters in the wrong place. It just doesn't make sense without the accent, without the language. Language is a funny thing, how it connects and disconnects us in the very same breath. In America, our names are the punchline, then the pretty. They are every first day of school. The high rising intonation in the teacher's voice, the tiptoeing over each letter, the teacher's smile of success, the grade school laughter after the mispronunciation, the shaking of heads in embarrassment, the exhale of familiarity, the feeling of shame, of being different, the owl-headed tilt of the teacher's head. That's a different name. I love that spelling though. The hope this year the mispronunciation will not become the nickname. The hope an apology will buoy our dignity. The hope next year someone with daddy's melody of a voice will say our name's right, not different. The hope that someone would just ask and then write it down phonetically. The hope that Miss Uzo Aduba's mother was right. If they can learn to say Tchaikovsky and Michelangelo and Dostoevsky, they can learn to say every name entering this classroom. The hope one day our names will occupy history books without first having to be a foolish joke shadowing in the back of school children's throats. The hope a bloodline won't need investigation before a name is worthy of the word beautiful. In America, our names are colorful, cool, difficult, distinct, diverse, eccentric, exotic, inclusive, offbeat, peculiar, strange, yet our names are representative of tribes. They are authentic. They are cultural. They are traditional, meaningful, passed down, creative, giving honor to someone. Our names are not our own, so we made our own to give honor to ourselves. They are the eulogy and the rebirth. They are beautiful, simply beautiful. Because our names are bred from the transplanted, the immigrated, the kidnapped, the stolen, the first generation, the ones who may not have made the journey but are in our bones, the ones who tried to get us as close to back home as they could get, the ones who discovered home before they ever discovered them. Our names are not just who we are currently. They are who we are called to be in this big, wide world. So when that big, wide world stumbles over our names, cracks jokes about our names, laughs at our names, they are laughing at an army of ancestors ready for battle. To remind the world that our names are not too hard to pronounce. They aren't too many vowels or letters in the wrong place. It just sounds different without the accent, without the language. And to remind the world that our names are not the problem. We are not the problem. To remind the world that we must do better because our names are powerful. In America, language is a funny thing. And how different is defined is an interesting thing because someone's different is someone's normal. And someone's normal is someone's home. And home is a kaleidoscope of America. Individual pieces and shapes and colors that have no sense, but when shifted and molded and held up to the sun for just a little bit longer, the picture becomes a mosaic. Whole. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. That piece means everything to me because as you clearly see my name, it's Aaliyah, even though it's spelled A-L-Y-E-A, Al, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do another piece here. Is that cool, Jeff?
Let's keep it rocking, Aaliyah. I love that first one. I'm gonna give you some snaps right here from where I'm at. That was dope. And like you said, we gonna learn how to pronounce these names. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.
Always, always.
That's right. Let's rock with our next one.
All right. All right, so folks, this next poem is after an amazing artist. Their name is ELSZ on Instagram. They are an amazing poet, harpist, singer. So definitely look at all of the arts for inspiration when you're as a poet. But they posted this amazing short piece that I kind of just got inspiration from. And so this was what came from it. And this is in honor of Women's History Month. That was just last month, so we have to honor that. All right, dear guilt. Where were you born? Was it after the first war, after the win? After my mother's mother's mother handed her husband her sword? Were you born for his win to occupy history books and hers, a foolish tale told amongst drunk captains on the sea? Or was your birth for a world hungry for beautiful instead of blood? Did you always shadow in the backs of women's throats? Did you always fill their mouths with water to drown themselves in themselves? How many times have we meant no and said yes? How many times did our body freeze, not roar? How many times have we believed we were more porcelain than apocalypse, frozen and fragile, no backbone or bite, no roar? Because if we were to roar with all the wind buried ocean floor deep, we would be the rainstorm, the ones who came before danced for all these years. A storm with a force to destroy it all. I love how I smile after that piece. Women are about to destroy it all.
I mean, sometimes you got to.
Burn it. Set it on fire.
Sometimes you got to go down. I love that. I love that, Aaliyah. I mean, Aaliyah, you got some more for us, right?
Of course.
Let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking.
All right. So this piece is it's a very old piece that I have, but I always love to present it at anything that I do because every time there's always one person that says something to me afterwards. So I try to honor this piece and always say it no matter where I am, even though, as a poet, it's like, dang, I said this 10 years ago. But I always got to do it for Justin. So Justin, a poem to autism. There is a symphony playing in Justin's head. Music. Notes that only Bach would waste the motion on his fingers on. Music that us normal people, our ears are not fit to hear. According to doctors, Justin is broken. They say the day he was born, he was too mute, that the only reason he reached for his mother was because he felt a beat, something as beautiful as Beethoven he could wiggle his fingers to. At 2 months old, Justin was diagnosed with autism. He will never see this world from our eyes. He may never realize if he hurts you when he walks away while you're still speaking. He may never taste the sweet words from a woman's mouth. Justin is different. And according to doctors, different needs to be fixed. Different is a disease. Different is being too simple because life must be complex. But Justin is beautiful. Simply beautiful. For if not for music, we might in these days say that beautiful is dead. But every time Justin tickles a key on the grand piano, it gives Beethoven a second chance at life. The first time I hung out with Justin, a Waka Flocka Flame song was bumping in the background. I asked him, do you like this whole gangsta rap flow? He looked at me, covered his ears, and said no. Then began humming Moonlight Sonata. I stopped listening to lyrics because of hip hop and began listening to a sweet song, as sweet as a springtime sweet symphony that only the soul alone can comprehend, but will never be capable of translating. When you see a person's soul for the very first time, it is as breathtaking as the moment before a first kiss. Justin takes my breath away. When he is performing, he is performing. He is not performing for you, for me, for a medal that only hugs him in past tense. There is no, was he good enough? When there is no distraction of trying to be good enough, Justin is great enough and he doesn't even care. Justin is great enough. Justin is great enough. Justin is great enough. When Justin didn't win a gold medal at a national competition, all he said was, I'm hungry. He is the enough that we too often ignore. Justin has taught himself Spanish in his spare time. He wears glasses with lenses as thick as his mother's skin. He still loves to sing Beyonce's Love on Top. His mother called him a miracle, but baby, miracles are surprises. God knew what he was blessing this earth with. Thank you. All right. How much more time do I got, Jeff? I want to make sure.
You got some time. You have some time. So, I mean, if you got one or two in you.
All right. Okay.
I mean, we ready.
Right, cool. All right. I got two more for you. They're shorter pieces, but I want to keep, especially with everything that's been happening in the world with George Floyd and everything, I do really want to say this one piece, just especially as a Black woman, and I'm sure that many folks are experiencing. So it's a short piece, but I think it's really important to say. All right. So again, this is in honor of George Floyd and every unarmed Black man killed and every woman that then has to live on. getting prepared. One day, I want a son, but I also know history. I know how a lot of this world likes to think that they know every Black man. I know how this world views us Black women, that we can keep on, that we don't shatter, that we don't need our Black men, and part of me is scared. I am not good at saying goodbye. I love too hard and I don't like to worry. I don't like when things are taken from me. Yet, I still want a son. Thank you. All right, so this piece, as Jeff said, I'm a Fulbright and National Geographic alum and explorer. And so this piece is in honor of every Caribbean person living up in New York. As a Trini Jam gal, I love myself some Juve. So this is in honor of my research abroad when I was in Trinidad and Tobago studying the amazing work of traditional mas. But this is for the West Indian Day Parade that we hopefully will get back soon. Home. I remember grandfather brick apartment buildings towering over Nostrand Ave. Incense blessing our inhales, cars honking and apartment doors slamming. Mighty Sparrow, Jean and Dinah singing through the stereo. Their voices speaking fast as my feet double dutch, drinking sorrel and rum until the night rose into Juve morning. Aunts and uncles on Labor Day weekend all chipping around the living room carrying pounds of photo albums, pounds of stories in their chests about women dressed as parrots and men as Don Lorenz, and how this Juve can never compare to back home. Their bodies slowly swaying like calypso, because here, music makes you bounce. Here, cars honk and people are alive. Here, the hard A's rolling from the back of my family's throats reminded me that my mother was not alone. In grandfather brick apartment buildings, Trinidad and Tobago became Flatbush, the lungs of Brooklyn, where no one had to over-articulate their T's and H's or apologize for the song spilling from their mouths or hear, "Could you repeat that again?" They were as close to back home as they could get. Back home where they can laugh loud until they cry a waterfall, dance to rain rhythms on the galvanized, and talk about who they were before America. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
One time, I want you all to go into the chats. I want you to go into the stratospheres and give Aaliyah Pierce a round of applause, a snap. If you want to type it into the, I like the typing sound into the chat, whatever it is. I just want to say thank you, Aaliyah. That was amazing. I mean, that was tremendous work. And it's a testament of not only your skill, but your travels all across the world doing this work. So thank you so much for joining us. Aaliyah, if you can let us know where we can see more of you on social media or anywhere else like that. Is there somewhere we can find more of what you're doing?
Absolutely. Instagram is the baby right now. So just find me at Aaliyah S. Pierce, ALYEAS Pierce. Looking forward to connecting with y'all.
Aaliyah, thanks again. We'll be in touch. I know you're still going to be in the building because you're going to be with us as we watch and listen to the student poetry, and you're going to help us judge a little bit later so we can find out a winner. And again, thank you, Aaliyah Pierce. Holla.
Thank you.
All right. With that said, my friends, I want to bring to the stage Kayla. Kayla has been an amazing addition to this entire program. She has been helpful throughout this entire from the beginning to the end, and we want to make sure that we show her some love, because I know Kayla is going to be introducing our student poets. What we have here is that we allowed and asked the students from all over the university to submit some poetry. We had some students submit them, so we're going to get a chance to watch the videos and watch the performances. So if you're watching at home, I want you to go into the chat, let us know what you think, show these students some love. It's always a lot of work and a lot of effort to be able to sit down and not only write the poem, but recite the poem and to record the poem for folks like us. So let's show them some love. And with that said, I'm going to pass it over to our team over at Queens College Student Life to share the video. Kayla, what's good?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to our spoken word and our poetry night. So as Jeff said, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the student entries, their videos, and then we do have two students in the house, Jay and Alexander. And once we play their videos, they're going to tell us what compelled them to write that poetry, what inspired them, why they're passionate about it. So first up, we have Jay Cruz.
The truth is, I'm scared. There's no point in trying to avoid it. There's no point in trying to hide it or cover it up or pretend. I am scared. I'm scared for the trans people dying around me, dying because it's a risk to present as the identity you feel you are. It's a risk for people to know you're not cis or you don't conform within the constricting standard of cis female, cis male. It's a risk to a cis person's ignorance, and of course it doesn't end for me there. I'm scared. I'm scared for the black people dying around me. Dying because it's a risk to be a different race in an area of all white people. Dying because it's a risk to walk in a park. It's a risk to run in a neighborhood. It's a risk to sleep in your own home. It's a risk to grab a snack and a drink from the store. It's a risk to a non-black person's racism and ignorance. I am scared. When I walk around, people stare at me. I don't look any different, so all I think is it because I'm obviously black, or is it because of the trans pride flag on my phone or my back? Am I going to get a hate message because I'm black or because I'm trans? Am I going to get harassed because I'm black or because I'm trans? Am I going to lose my job because I'm black or because I'm trans? Am I going to die because I'm black or because I'm trans? I'm scared. I'm scared for my future, and I'm scared for the future of every black trans person alive. But even though I'm scared, I know I'm not a risk. I know I'm not a threat. I'm not unnatural. I'm not wrong. I'm scared. My voice still shakes. I have voice cracks and I stutter, but I know that the only way I could fear for the lives of other trans people and other black people is because we're all alive. I am scared, but I know we all exist. I know we're all trying and fighting and breathing. And as long as I know my community is alive, I am scared, but I will be alive too.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Jay. So now we're going to invite Jay into the room and he will tell us about his piece.
Hi. Hi, my name is Jay, and I wrote that piece because I deal with a lot when it comes to intersectionality and just issues with how people see me as I present as trans and Black. And what people often don't think of is that as a Black person, I am dealing with racism, but also as a trans person, I am dealing with transphobia. So it's just double of the problems. And that piece was just a bit on how I feel towards it over some of the artwork that I created related to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Next up, we will have Alexander Perez.
So you're really gonna question me where I stand in this? Where my loyalty lies? Like I ain't play my hand in this? Like, first of all, ain't you supposed to be my man in this? Ain't we grew tall together? So you know I got a firm stance, and so you gonna question me where I stand in this? Cause you a big stepper, right? You walk the walk, you march the march. You a big getter, right? See, I never learned how to fight the fight quite like you did. I never learned what it means to carry pride when you sacrifice your voice and body and put on a line for a situation that just don't feel right. But you choose to question me where I stand in this. Okay, my nigga, ain't you remember the post on the gram 8 months back? A blacked out square with a raised fist in the caption? Did you see I had your back? Don't you remember I had a corona when the older Asian lady was getting jumped? And in solidarity, I was the first man to stand up, flip his phone out and record so the world knew what was up. Don't you see the countless hashtags, reshares, and engagement in my posts? Don't you see me using my voice? But you're gonna question me where I stand in this. See, last month I sent countless thoughts and prayers to random strangers online, telling them to stay strong, because I know if my content keeps going, the world keeps on. See, I have a voice on this platform that uses hearts as likes and reshares the traumas of black and brown bodies, that I'm so used to this lynching that honestly, this constant casual cruelty, it really doesn't seem wrong. See, I can't be like you. I can't fight like you. I can't disconnect to connect like you. I can't find the strength to step out, to step up like you. And lately I've realized that actually I don't know how to use my voice like you. Thank you.
That was beautiful, beautiful, Alexander. Thank you so much for sharing. Now we're going to invite him into the room so that he can tell us about his piece.
Hello. Hi. So my piece was on performative activism, and also it touches upon just what we face in this generation, mostly that we want to be seen, and that's the way we protest and our voice. There's been an uprising, in the youth protesting, but for the most part, you see that we just want to keep sharing and sharing and sharing online, especially on social media. And sometimes we're just forced, some people are forced to do it, like in the summer back when there was the blacked out square. People did it just because they didn't want to be outed as racist. But, I feel like you have to do it for you. And then I also wanted to touch upon that for the most part, all we see is these killings of black and brown bodies of our people, that it becomes a trope that, if you see a video of a black person and a cop, like, you already know the ending. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to everything you said in your piece about performative allyship. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the next three students that we have, unfortunately, they weren't able to be with us tonight, which is okay because we understand that everyone has so many responsibilities in this virtual world. So we will still play their videos. And the next one is Sadie Ann Basarag.
Hi, my name is Sadie Ann Basaraj, and this is my poem entry for the spoken word contest. Outside my window, there's a psychological battle over metaphysical beauty where what's on the outside is better than in, and people are dressed for the pleasures of sin. While hormones are raged, inner beauty is caged, but the mental imprint is beginning to burn like an incense. Because on the other side of the world, these wicked rules of beauty are hurled. This is for the unknown that is lost in a closet, trampled under hangers of lies, bombarded by wrinkled clothes, whispering stereotypes and sweet murmurs all devised, surrounded by friends who believe in the ideology that beauty is only cosmetology. Open the door and don't be subdued by the world's lures. Hit them in the core and show them what you are fighting for. You are beautiful and you are bright. And when God created you, he intended glorious might. Stop hiding behind a disfigured mask and uncover your insecurities. And don't be afraid to ask. And tell the world that your birth wasn't coincidence and you can prove with evidence. You see, insecurities are an imaginary consequence put on by the world. Please don't be afraid, because the notion of beauty doesn't want you to fade. Beauty would have no definition, and you leaving it would be its admonition. No purpose, pure foolishness, its existence is dubious. I had a premonition that while the world was drowning in indecision, your overcome insecurities would cohere us in a variety of divisions. That When we couldn't lie no more and we couldn't hide no more, you would be our monument with the qualities of a queen, dressed with natural beauty to show us that we don't need no makeup to be a cutie. You are a good woman who should not be afraid and ashamed of who you are. This poem is for every insecure angel, every poltrigynous woman, and every spoken word without a voice. Let our insecurities be the showers to harbor newborn beauty that'll blossom into multiple flowers. Let our insecurities be the eulogy of the past and allow this to be our breakthrough at last. Know that every storm runs out of rain and you can't have eternal happiness without a little pain. And let us consider insecurities as a trend and a fling, because we must remember after winter must come spring.
Thank you so much, Sadie Ann. Thank you so much for that beautiful entry. The next student video we will watch is from Meredith Schwab.
Hi guys, so I'm gonna read my poem to you. It's called Journey of Green, and it's all about smashing stigma on weight and body image, and yeah, it's basically anti-diet culture. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna be reading it alongside my screen. Okay. Journey of green, slender and lean, a look you've never seen. Exercise is a pure goal to take on a new form, a new mold. Results you do need. Diet culture you do heed. You learn to neglect your palate. You feel overweight. You've had it. Time for a menu of only salad. You say with conviction it's not an addiction. Just some good old nutrition ambition to help you stay out of the kitchen. New purpose, new mission. I listen. You tell me it's just a small change in lifestyle, but every day now you walk a mile. As you tell yourself it's worthwhile, you pay the price as you dish out your wealth for the latest holies of holies, your health. Can I ask why you caved, why you sold, why you put diet first and everything else on hold? I watched amazed. Society as a whole, everyone's so unhealthily health crazed. Diet industry has grown about, convincing you to be happy you must first lose weight, drop those extra pounds. The only truth I found, a heightened sense of insecurity surrounds. I'm thinking of going to the rooftops to shout, to scream loud enough so my voice is heard and I gain some clout. A simple message. You're beautiful inside and out. Yeah, I know. In order to live a long life, health is key. But to be overly obsessed with weight, that you do not have to be. So for those who need to hear this, take note of this, okay? No matter your weight on a given day, you're beautiful in every way, no matter what your inner critic or the naysayers say. Forget it all, live your own best life, and most importantly, love your body. Hip to the hip. Hooray. Thank you for listening.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, Meredith. I am loving all the messages in all of these poems. And our last student video we will watch is from Winnie X.
Hi. So this is for the competition, the spoken word poetry competition, and I wrote a poem and it's called Foreclosure. We reach high and we reach low, just for the taste of that closure. We find like a goddamn soldier. On our shoulders, we carrying this heavy ass boulder. We run and we chase, miles and miles, like a marathon that seems to be a never-ending race. Pushing our limits every second, every minute of the day. We fighting, we running, we chasing and we pacing. But we never actually do get it. 'Cause to you, it's just a plain game. We run and we chase, but not our own pace. At someone else's expenses, not by our own grace. We show up at their place. The front door is locked. We knock and we knock. We get nothing but silence. Not a single answer to the door. So, through the window we search, just so to find her with a smile on her face, in the company of another man, a man that she once said it was her best friend. That's BS, I know. Just the lies just the many lies that you've told. And that's something that can never be mended. To run off with another man, I guess I'm just one of your little fans. You see, you are my four-leaf clover, something that I could never get over. I reach high and I reach low, till I reach for closure. And now it's time to let you go.
Thank you so much, Winnie. I felt the passion in your voice in delivering your message. Next, we will hear from our host, Jeff Dess.
Kayla, that was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I was loving that work by those students. So big shout out to all of the student participants for their amazing pieces, for taking the time out to record. And great job. We're about to sign you up as the new host, Kayla. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you did a good job yourself. So I want to shout you out for taking the time out to showing everybody some love as well.
Thank you.
So I think it's time for me, my friends, to get onto the mic. I wanted to come on to y'all and I wanted to perform a little bit. I wanted to give you all a couple of poems, a couple of work. I wanted to show y'all some love and give you some energy on some of the things that we're about to do. So let's start right now with my first poem. So my first poem, I have to let y'all know I'm a big New York Knicks fan, and the Knicks are finally doing okay this year. They're showing some love. They're playing some good basketball. But as a person who grew up of a certain age in a certain era, I watched a man by the name of Michael Jordan completely torment my favorite basketball team of all time. So, I had to write a poem, and here it goes. And this poem is called "I Think I Hated Michael Jordan." I think I hated Michael Jordan, the basketball player, not the B actor. Not because he stole a kiss from my 5th grade crush, Amanda Banks. That was Brandon Dawkins who did that. Not because he reminded me of the scary old man who loitered in our apartment lobby. Not because he was the reason we never had enough sugar for the Kool-Aid. There was other reasons for that. I think I hated Michael Jordan because he was the reason that I couldn't watch TV on weekdays. I missed countless episodes of Full House and Family Matters and Mr. Belvedere, all on Fridays, because of who? Michael Jordan. Growing up, I'm pretty sure that I had beef with Michael Jordan. I just hoped that the razor he used to shave his head was too sharp, and he would get this annoying, painful cuts. I hoped he would take a sick day for work just once. I hoped someone would just say that his sneakers were fake. See, I hated Michael Jordan. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl that looked good. I would call her. Man, I hated that song too, actually. I hope that Michael Jordan had believed in superstitions and then broke hallway mirrors accidentally. I just hoped. See, I despised the number 23. I feared the number 2. The quarter pounder with cheese was the number 2 on the McDonald's value menu. And I was afraid. I ate Big Macs though, but that number 2. See, Connect 4. I hated it. I hated Connect 4 because 3 X's and O's in tic-tac-toe was too much. See, let me tell y'all this. See, he was in Space Jam. The main song was I Believe That I Can Fly by R. Kelly. That means nothing, I swear. See, Michael Jordan wore hoop earrings, yet I'm the bad guy for saying that I hate Michael Jordan. He played for the Bulls, which means I also hated cows. Man, I couldn't stand goats for over a year. He made the best sneakers that my mother could never afford. And you know what was worse? You know what was worse about Michael Jordan? His middle name was Jeffrey, like mine. That was my name. I always thought of these alternative names that I can go by. Perry, Jody, Richard, Cliff, Keanu, Theo Huxtable, Mike Tyson. But none of those worked because I hated Michael Jordan. But I did love the New York Knicks. Thank you. So I want to dedicate that poem to all of my New York Knicks fans that are out there that have suffered over the years of bad teams, of bad management, of bad records. And so shout out to all of my favorite Knicks fans that are holding strong, that have suffered through it. If you're a 90s guy who watched the Knicks in the 90s or the 80s, you know the struggle was real. So I want to give a shout out to all of my Knicks fans. I think I hated Michael Jordan. That's real. That's real life right there. That's real life. I'm gonna rock some more. Let me get another poem ready for y'all. I want to ask you all that are watching right now via YouTube and virtually, how many people have ever seen Marvel movies, right? We've all seen Marvel films before. We've all been there. We've seen, Avengers, Winter Soldier, and the other guy with the arm, or the black guy with the wings, whatever, you know what I'm saying, is on Disney Plus. People are all in, all these other things. And every time I think of Marvel, I think of a particular conversation, and I hope that you all can rock with me in this conversation. This poem is called Marvel Confusion. You see, Thor is regarded to some as a god. He's not my god. I don't believe in that fictional world, but I digress. See, Thor is an alien to me. And then there's Captain America. Captain America was from Brooklyn. Now, again, this is a fictional world, but Brooklyn is a real borough. Flatbush is a real avenue. There's real gentrification, where Jay-Z once told us to go to New York or Brooklyn Nets games. See, his home, Captain America, is not imaginary, although he is. Then there's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is from Queens. The borough of Queens is actually real. He was bitten by a radioactive spider in the city of Manhattan. That was actually real as well, in a museum, on a block, by yellow cabs, by the statue. He was real. But no, Spider-Man wasn't real, but his city was. Okay, then there was Iron Man, right? And then we, of course, have Iron Man. Iron Man was an American genius who lived in where? The city of Manhattan. He built a fictional high-rise, but the city was real. There was real pizza. There was real falafel. There were real yellow cabs not picking up certain types of people. See, he wasn't real, but his home is imaginary. I mean, his home's not imaginary. Now, of course, there's the black one, right? The Black Avenger, the African brother, right? We all know that guy, the Black Panther. The Black Panther, see, he wasn't from an alien planet like Thor. He wasn't from this imaginary alien state. He's from here, but only kind of from here, right? T'Challa's planet was real. He's from Earth, but his country was imagined. I'm confused. Manhattan, that's real. Brooklyn, that's real. Queens, also real. The other Avengers also from real, true places. Wakanda, fake. See, Black Panther is from Earth, right? Black Panther is from Earth. He's not from Nigeria. He's not from Senegal. He's not from Cote d'Ivoire. He's not from Burkina Faso. He was not Ethiopian. He's not Eritrean. He was not Ghanaian. He was not Kenyan. He was not Cameroonian. He would have been, though, if they only imagined our truths to be actual and not fantasy. Then folks Wakanda'd the heck out of the situation, greeting the world with X marks upon their chest. Made it real. They made it real. But Marvel confused us all. Thank you. Let me talk to y'all about that one right there, right? How many of you have watched those Marvel movies and asked yourself, like, why is Wakanda not real? And I think that's an important conversation for all of us to have when we start thinking about the way that cultures are portrayed in media, on television, in real life, and all of these things. You have to ask yourselves, who are creating these conversations? Who are creating these definitions? Who are saying these things about particular individuals? And when you start to unpack why and whom and what, then you have to say, it's time for me to question. And I started to look at that and wondered, why was the Black Panther the only one from a different planet, country, something? Like, it didn't even make sense. Wakanda was this hidden place. But the thing is that Wakanda easily could have been Ghana. Wakanda easily could have been Nigeria. But they refused, whoever the creators were back when and continue to today, refused to believe that there could have been this magic found in Africa. And I'm letting you know there's a lot of magic in Africa. There's a lot of resources in Africa. There's a lot of beauty in Africa. And what I want us to all do is celebrate those spaces and not get hung up. But I had to let y'all know, if y'all are watching these Avenger movies, ask yourself, where are all of these people from? Let's rock with another one. If y'all ready for another poem, I mean, I'm ready for another poem. I'm ready for another poem. I'm ready to keep rocking. I'm ready to keep rocking. This next piece, my parents and my family come from Haiti. And I always think about the world of immigrants and the things that they have to go to and how they're defined. And then especially recently when we start to redefine the definition of immigrants from top to bottom and how there's different types of immigrants. So this poem right here is called The Perfect Immigrant. He loved British accents, how regal they were, how smart they sounded, the idiosyncrasies within each syllables, the sophistication and sexiness were second to none. The power. He loves the power. The fake versions were the worst. He hated those fake English accents, especially the incomprehensible Jamaican knockoffs. That's not a real accent, he would say. He hated English as a second language or a fourth language. He listens carefully to how people pronounce terms like asterisk and aluminum and Massachusetts and Eagles and imperialism and Ronald Reagan. Let me tell you, he loves to visit their resorts and travel on all-you-can-drink Caribbean cruises if their beaches are pristine enough. He doesn't get off the ship to visit unless the guided tours accept the real dollar and the rum punches are strong enough to assure that he forgets his mistakes. He loves countries who participate in the Winter Olympics. He doesn't watch the bobsled teams for obvious historical reasons. He loves when he can watch America's pastime together, but hates when they serve as translators for the Dominican players. He hated when they called it football and not soccer and painted their faces certain color. Red, white, and blue was cool though. He loves exotic foods, but not spicy. Spicy hot tamale, red pepper, fiery Latinas were the exception to the rule. Burrito bowls from Chipotle were his favorite because it was food made with integrity, unlike those tacos from the local spot whose ingredients he thought were criminally tainted. He loves when they talk about Big Macs from back home because he loved everything that McDonald's stands for. He just loves tequila drinkers who dance on tables and bounce one too many times after body shots on Cinco de Mayo while wearing sombreros from H&M or Urban Outfitters. He loves authentic spaghetti and baked ziti the way his mom used to make it. If they were Muslim, they had to only be from Egypt. He hates Arabic spoken in public. He hates outward mentions of Allah. He hates hijabs, but he loves to think about what's underneath there. He was fine with the Spanish speakers as long as they looked like that hottie from Modern Family or J-Lo. He loves J-Lo, but only when they call her J-Lo and not Jennifer Lopez. He loves the way African skin glistens in the sun way more than it does at night. Dark chocolate was exotic, and he loved it. He loved how smooth their blackberry molasses melanin felt on his fingers. The contrasting colors just felt right up against his body, especially in the nude. He loves to secretly watch big booty Africans on selected websites. But he hates Nigerian doctors and Haitian lawyers and Guyanese pilots and Cameroonian cops and Sudanese writers and Dominican engineers. He loves Norwegian models and Japanese masseuses. Argentinian beach volleyball players he loves the most because he loves what he loves. And he loves his perfect immigrant. Thank you. Thank y'all. Big shout out to all of my first generation folks who have parents that are immigrants, who are immigrants themselves, who had to show up and pull up and do the work, right? Big shout out to all of my immigrant community out there that are continuing to fight and be defined by the work they are, that hopefully will be defined by the culture that they bring to the table, the beauty that they bring to the space, and not be defined by some other nonsense. I've got a couple more. I'm gonna pull out some poems. I'm gonna pull out one that I'm gonna read to y'all. This is a little bit of an older one. When I wrote this poem around 2016 or 2017. I forget. It was the president of the United States at the time was Donald Trump. And at the time, Donald Trump went on stage, went out there and started calling people, started calling countries ish-hole countries, right? S-H-I-T whole countries. And he called Haiti one of those ish-hole countries. And I just felt like, if he only knew what he was talking about, maybe he wouldn't call us outside of our name. So this piece is entitled My Name. I am not here to complain about what I've been called. I'm here to let you know what my name is, because it seems that you have forgotten. And when they forget, it shall be our responsibility to remind. When they are misinformed, we shall leave them with these learning lessons, extra homework, pop quizzes. When they lie about our name, may the daggers of truth pierce their souls. If they heard otherwise about our names, let us reverberate our syllables and sonic forces. When they mispronounce, be sure to put an extra accent on our freedom. Perhaps it was sheer ignorance, or perhaps it was because of enslavements and embargoes and occupations and theft and pillage. And there lies the truth, my friend. It's time for their comfort zones to be shattered, because they've called us out of our names. From here on out, you shall call me by my name, because my name is my name, and my name is Jacques, and my name is Regine, and my name is Revolutionary, and my name is Fabrice, and my name is Marie-Claude, and my name is Liberty, and my name is Benin, and my name is Venezuela, and my name is 1804. I am Banan Peze. I am Soup Jumu. I am cut from the Moyoke trees. My name is educator. My name is actress. My name is pilot. My name is cab driver. My name is chef. My name is plumber. My name is council person. And most importantly, my name is your name, because I am you. I am your Black Mirror. My name is your name. And my name is my name. And my name is Aitzi. And don't you ever forget that. Thank you. Thank y'all. Big shout out to all of those people who want their names to be recognized. Aaliyah Pierce dropped a dope poem earlier talking about those names, right? Talking about the representation of our names. And it's important for you to let people know your name, how to pronounce it correctly, how to spell it correctly, how to make sure that they understand where your name came from, where your ancestors built on that name, where is the history behind it. So I correct people all the time when it's time to say either my name, when it's time to represent where I'm from. Because, when you start to believe what other people call you, when they call you out your name, it starts to stick and you start to believe that yourself. And the work that we have to understand is that it's time for us to stop believing the things that are not true about us. And I have one last poem before we go away. And this poem was written and inspired by some folks on Facebook. On social media, it's a really dangerous space, because what ends up happening is that you get involved in these conversations on a regular basis with individuals who have different viewpoints from you. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a different viewpoint from somebody else. But when you have trolls and when you have people who are intentionally trying to derail your mindset, and when you have people who are intentionally trying to assure that you don't succeed or are looking to inflict pain instead of inflict empathy, it's important for us to recognize how we walk away from some of those spaces, and how we have to walk away from some of the oppressive voices that are around us on a regular basis. So I'm going to read this quick poem for y'all that I literally wrote moments ago today. And here we go. These streets are exquisitely unpleasant, aren't they? Majestic and imaginary. But see, that's inconsequential, because you love me. And I know you love me. You stare intently into my darkness, often getting lost into my translation, navigation, disrupted. and you clap back hoping to find your way home. But little did you know that that comfort zone has crashed to the ground long ago. And I know you love me. You love me. You admire me obsessively. But it's an unhealthy obsession. It's abusive, wounding my peace because yours has been misplaced. You seek imagined answers, answers that cause anguish, but you never respond in the form of a question, putting my entire livelihood in jeopardy. And instead of taking your L's like a normal contestant, you transform into a barbarian, a beast of sorts who loves me. I know you love me. You do. You claim to hate, but we know that the sun does shine and your ether burns for those who remain unprepared. But I saw your fire and I smelled your toxicity from miles away. Chilling in the Congo, asking me to comply to your lies, and I asked you to come lie down yourself because I know you love me. You can't even fully admit it, but I know you love me. You love me more than you love yourself. That's unhealthy for the both of us, unhealthy for all of us, especially me. You are intellectually disingenuous. It's clear as day. And I know this. And for my own sanity, for the sake of my own creativity, I will no longer center you. You are not my sunshine, my only sunshine, because I will shade you. And although your presence is immense, I will redesign with my self-care in mind. I will reimagine without your placeholder on me. I will reconfigure with my future in play. And I know you love me, but I know you hate me. You have no place in my peace that will exist tomorrow. So your centering is gone. And I know you love me, but I must move on. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to rock with me today. Now, I'm going to bring back some folks to the stage. If we can get Kayla to the stage, if we can get Aaliyah to the stage, I'd hopefully if y'all are ready, because what we want to do is announce our winners of the poetry contest. So I'm going to go into my trusty notebook right here. And I'm just going to look at some of the things that we've got here. All right. I'm tabulating the votes. I'm looking at the counts here. All right, here we go. That's my drum roll. That's my drum roll, right? In third place, we have Sadie Ann. Third place, we have Sadie Ann. Shout out to Sadie Ann. Congratulations on third place. This was a tough one right here for both of us. In second place, we really had to. We loved everyone's poem, so I want to make sure. I hate to be that guy that's just like, y'all are all winners. We had to pick, and it was tough, right? So our second place award goes to Alex. Alex gets second place. Congratulations, Alex, for second place. And our first place winner tonight. There we go. Jay is our winner. Congratulations, Jay, and congratulations to all of the poets. Thank you all for your amazing performances. Make sure you follow up with Kayla and Dwayne to hear more about what happens next. And thank y'all. This was a great night. It went so fast. I felt like I want to keep this party going, right? And I just want to say thank you to Aaliyah. And on behalf of Trill or Not Trill, I go by the name Mr. Jeff Des. Kayla, I don't know if you wanted to say any last words for us here tonight.
I just wanted to say thank you so much to Jeff and Aaliyah. We bow. Thank you for your powerful, powerful pieces. And also thank you to all the students who submitted their videos. We really enjoyed it. We felt it, and we just appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all, and continue to keep writing. If you're watching there right now, or if you're watching later at another time, write some poems, be creative, listen to some music, do whatever you got to do to get those creative juices going. Again, I go by the name of Jeff Dess. She goes by the name of Aaliyah Pierce. Kayla holding us down. Thank you to Dwayne. Thank you to Queens College and the entire Student Life team. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.